Today we are going to the Aspire Lounge, which is located near Gate 54 in Terminal 1 of the Perth International Lounge. We got access to this lounge as we were flying business with Malaysia Airlines, but you can access this lounge through Priority Pass or through payment. The current going rates if you pre-book are $75 per adult and $44 per child. Walk-up rates cost more if you're an adult at $82.50. At that price point, I personally wouldn't bother, but I can see how this could be a good option if you're on a series of flights and need to grab a shower at the airport, or if you are taking a flight that is notorious for delays. The lounge is quite narrow but long, and there is a viewing deck located in the back, which provides a nice view of the apron. The lounge itself is pretty modern and cleaned, but since our last visit, the only improvements that I could note was the increase in amount of lighting offered in the deck. Relative to other lounges, food options and drink options are pretty limited, to the point we actually went outside to buy food to bring into the lounge. Drinks are all behind the bar except for self-service tea and coffee. I feel like this is one of those lounges which doesn't necessarily add that much to a trip unless you require utilities, such as a shower. Apart from that, I found our experiences at this lounge have been largely underwhelming. It might just be that it's at the end of the day, and it's definitely not the worst, but I do wonder if the lounge offers a better experience during the day as opposed to the night.
Hello.
Hello.
We are currently at the Aspire Lounge, waiting to take our flight. We
Was conveniently delayed.
Yes. Great.
All in all, this lounge is not a bad lounge in that sense. I'm really glad that we had somewhere to stay while our flight was delayed, and they actually did leave the lounge open for us until our flight, which was beyond their usual hours of 4 to 2 a.m. Our MH126 flight was delayed by an hour plus, but it was so relieving to finally board the plane, as it meant we weren't going to miss the wedding that we were flying to Malaysia for. What struck me first was honestly the amount of stains that there was on the carpet. From the signature drink it would seem, but nonetheless still a ton of stains everywhere on the carpets, including my seat, Mike's seat, down the aisle. Yeah. The plane itself seemed a little bit dated, and we were sat on an A330-300, which has a 1-2-1 or 2-2-1 seating configuration in business. As you can imagine, those in the one-seaters on the sides had ample seating space, and we ended up optioning for the 2-2-1 row to sit together. But yeah, there was a clear difference.
Like, much bigger it is.
Malaysia Airlines released their signature drink about 7 months ago, and it's a blend of hibiscus, rosella, lychees and longans. It really wasn't for me. Personally, it just tasted way too fragrant, almost kind of like rose water, so it just wasn't for me. But if that's a flavour for you, then you might end up liking it. The IV ended up rebooting several times at the start of the flight, which honestly didn't feel very assuring. Not gonna lie, I don't really want to see that when I'm looking at a screen, but thankfully there were no issues later on in the flight. I feel like my favourite part of this experience though with Malaysia Airlines would be the private terminal transfer service. They have recently collaborated with Mercedes-Benz and transfer passengers between Kuala Lumpur's International Airport Terminal 1 and the satellite building as well. So this was a fun little experience that we actually weren't expecting, but definitely was something that was very welcomed. Although this flight experience and lounge experience wasn't my favourite in the books, I can definitely still say that I'll still fly with Malaysia Airlines. The whole car transfer thing was just super fun, and I thought it was a really good little touch.